This video is going to take a look at Keynote. Keynote is PowerPoint for the iOS or Apple. It's a lot more powerful in my mind. It's a lot more slick and just really neat for teachers and students to use. So Keynote is all the way at the bottom in my systems tray. It's the first icon there with a podium and kind of that light on it. So if I click on Keynote, most likely when you first click on Keynote, it's going to give you a welcome menu and kind of walk you through a couple of things. Don't be overwhelmed by the keynotes that I have here. This is basically my holding cell, or my place where all of my keynotes are held. You can see that there are folders in my bottom row. I have one that says Bulldog Board Meetings, I have another one that says PD, and I have another one of keynote examples that I will share with you. And then the other ones just are randomly out there in just different parts. So to get started with Keynote, you're going to create a presentation. And when you click that plus sign, you're going to be given a whole lot of different options in terms of the presentation or the theme that you would like. So you can scroll through and you can look, and basically what this is telling you is this is the background that you will have, it's the font that you will have. So the choice is yours. You decide which one you would like to use. I personally love the black and white, so I always click this first one, or most of the times I click this first one. So just like a PowerPoint, you can go ahead and double tap to edit things. And I'm going to double tap here, and I'm going to say example of Keynote. So this text right now is white, and anytime you want to change something, you have to highlight it first. So I highlight it and I get that blue box around it. In the top right-hand corner, there are 6 different icons. The first one is the paintbrush. So if you think about changing the color of something, you think of the paintbrush, and I can click on that there, and it gives me my style. So the text itself right now is 80-point Helvetica, and I can change the font by clicking on it, and there's several different fonts here. So maybe I want to go with this one. I hit the back arrow to get back to the text options. The color is white. I can click on that box there, and this is the first page, or sorry, this is the second page of font colors. There's 5 on this page. I can scroll to the left and I can see all those almost like paint palettes. So that's the first page. This is the second page. This is the third page. And this is the color wheel for the 4th page. So different ways to see it. For some of us, we like this way. For some of us, we like this way. And for some of us, we like this way. So if I wanted to change this to blue, I could change it to blue. And then I could hit text options back. If I wanted to make this larger or smaller, I can click the arrows to make it larger or smaller. Now, I can also click on that and I can move this. Say I want to move it up here. I can move my box to make it a little bit smaller. What I love about Keynote is that the ruler comes into effect. So it kind of shows me where the center of the Keynote presentation is going to be, so that I can put that right where I'd like to in the middle of that section. So the paintbrush will adjust color and whatnot. I can come here and I can click on it. Oh, nothing was selected. So now I can click on this box here. I can click on this, and I looked at the text. To the left of that, I have the style. So this particular text box, I can change the color of the color of that box. Maybe I want to make that red. My style options, again, I have multiple colors, so I can change it to that or that. When I go back to style options, let me go back there for a second. I have border. Right now the border is turned off. I can turn the border on by going like this. And now I can turn the border on, and I can change the color. And again, notice that things are very similar. Maybe I want to go yellow there. And I want to make it a little bit wider. And then I also have effects, where I can shadow it if I wanted to. Or I could do a reflection. So that is there. I also have the arrange part, or if I want to move something to the back, or I want to move it to the front, or I want to lock it so that it doesn't move anywhere, I could do that as well. So that is there, and maybe I want to move this. I'll put my name down here, so I'll double tap to add. So that is there. Okay, so that's the paintbrush. Next to the paintbrush I have the plus sign, and the plus sign gives me 4 different options. These are charts, and you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different charts. And I know that there's 6 different ones because of the circles or the little dots down at the bottom. So that's page 1, this is page 2, 3, 4, and you get the idea there. There's some graphs there, 2D graphs. There's several of them. There's also 3D graphs, several of these, and there's interactives as well. I don't use any of those really at all in my presentations, but for math folks and for maybe data information, maybe you could use some of those. The next part is text boxes or different text colors or shapes. So these are the different colors and shapes that you can add to it. And notice that it keeps going. And the last one are images. So now I can go and I can insert an image if I wanted to. I could take a video if I wanted to and put a video in there as well. I'm going to go search here and see what I have. Let's see if I can add this one. Okay, so this is a picture of Brielle in our hotel down in Myrtle Beach for the summer, and notice that it took up the entire slide. So I can pinch that into the middle, and now I can move this in here. And now I have an image that goes with it. So I have added my first slide in Keynote. To get a second slide into my presentation, in the bottom left-hand corner, I have the plus sign here. So I can go ahead and click the plus sign, and it's going to give me all different types of slides that I can add to my presentation. For the next slide, I'm going to add this one here that has a picture on the right, a title, and then some bullets on the left. So I can go ahead and click on that, and it's very simple and basic, and I'm going to say places we went to this summer. And same thing goes, I can click on this and I can change the color by clicking on the paintbrush. And I can click the text there, and I can click this here and I can change the color. Maybe I want to do a little bit of a gray. I can take this picture and I can delete the picture. I clicked on it and I had to wait a couple seconds, 2 seconds maybe, so I can delete the picture and I can insert a new picture. And in order to do that, I hit that plus sign again. And this is where I can insert my picture. And I'm going to insert this picture here, the greatest place on earth in the fall, State College, Pennsylvania. Go Lions. So I can insert this picture here and I can maneuver it around a little bit. And now I can double tap and I can put places here. So we went to South Carolina. We went to Philadelphia. We went to New Jersey. We went to Maryland, and we went to Pittsburgh. Most of the places, actually the bottom 4, were places we went because of my son's baseball team. So he plays on a travel team there. So now I have 3 things. I have a title, I have bullets, and I have a picture. And when I click on the bullets, you're going to see that I can speak that. I can cut it, copy it, delete it, comment, or I can animate. And when I click on animate, it says to add a transition, tap a slide, to add a build, tap an object, then to exit this view, then tap done. Okay. So now I'm going to build it and I want it to come into my presentation some way. So I need to add this build in. So there are a couple of different options that I can do, and it will showcase or show what each one is when I click on it. So I can hit play now and I can see what it looks like. Nah, no big deal. Play this one, see what it looks like. Okay, a little bit better. Maybe I want to do the bounce. Okay, so I like that one. That was the effects. I also have options. How long do I want it? Do I want it to come from the right, from the left, from the random, on the tap, after a transition? So you have all those things. The delivery there, all at once, by bullet. So I can do this by bullet. So if I play that there, it looks like this. Okay, so that's a little bit better of an effect. And then the order, I can change the order if I wanted to. I could go from bottom up, or I can go from, so I can go just hold and drag, and I can drag this one up to the top. Come on, work with me. Doesn't want to work. I'm not sure why that's not working. If I click on the one, I'm not sure why that's not working. Sorry about that. So I can do that. And then I can come here and I can click on this picture. And how am I going to build this in? What am I going to do? I'm going to make it dissolve in, so I can play that to see what it looks like. Doesn't really do a whole lot because it's a picture. I'm going to drop it in. Okay, so that works. So I have that there. Notice over here by the slide itself, it's asking for a transition there as well, so I can transition from the first slide to the second slide. I can hit the plus sign there and I can go confetti. And again, I can play that to see what that looks like. Okay, so I want to leave that, then I will leave that. So those are things, and then I can hit done, and I'm finished, and I've animated that slide. So animations are great. So you can go ahead and you can see how the rest of this works. You can play your presentation by clicking top right hand corner on the play button. So it gives us some tips here. I can navigate, swipe. I can also highlight, or I can exit my slideshow. So I have my first slide, and now I have my second slide. And notice there's nothing there, so I have to click, 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 and I have to click again to bring in my picture. When I'm finished, I can simply hit the... Now, I'm going to go back and I'm going to hit presentations in the top left-hand corner, because I'm going to go back to my template here. So there's my new Keynote that I had, and it's called Presentation 5. When I click on Presentation 5, I can actually rename it. And then I can hit done, and now there's my example there. And finally, I can then export this. I can open it in another app. I can open the Keynote, choose the app, and then there's iTunes U, so then I can add it to the iTunes U group. So there you have it. That is Keynote in a nutshell.